All right.
All right, we have started the commentary for play-in match with Nucklong and Cramgoose. You guys want to get us started? What can we expect?
Are we gonna tell them we're ready?
No, because we gotta prep.
Do the pre. Okay.
Yeah, come on.
Get a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. It seems like the big benefit of Nuck's team is that it's pretty fast, but that kind of just gets neutralized by Whimsicott right away. It also seems like Terrakion matches up pretty well against that team as long as it doesn't get hit by Pheromosa. But if you can set up a Tailwind, it seems like Pheromosa could be pretty neutralized there, assuming it's not got a Focus Sash on it.
I think we can guarantee that there's a focus sash on there.
And even then, with presumably, well, I guess. Well, actually, Rock is pretty good, I would say, in this matchup versus Nuck. So, I mean, you got Sandstorm going on potentially too, which, I mean, Pheromosa is not going to stick around in this world for very long if it takes that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really a game of Tailwind. If Tailwind gets to get up and stay up, I think it's going to be pretty easy for Cramgoose. But without Tailwind, it seems like Nuck's team has got pretty good speed advantage on Cramgoose's.
We see Cramgoose has brought Shaman, which is pretty new to his team. Are we expecting to see it?
I think he could bring it just because it deals with Rotom pretty well. It can kind of deal with Garchomp a little bit, but it doesn't seem like the highest upside Pokemon. But it does seem like it might be difficult for him to deal with Rotom otherwise.
Yeah, I do think that the Rotom forms are just like they're hard to deal with in general. Like Levitate really just is such a good ability for them, and then a lot of times, especially in Rotom Wash's case, right, like the electricity weakness gets neutered as well. So we've got just the grass and taking neutral damage from the grass on Shaman's or from the electric on Shaman's part, I think is really solid, and I think that we could see that because Nuck has also used that Rotom a lot. I think it might actually be the star of his team over Garchomp, honestly.
Yeah, and I think like level 1, you could think that Whimsicott could deal with it, but it doesn't seem like Whimsicott's got long for this world. I think it might get a Tailwind up, and maybe that'd be about it. It seems like Whimsicott is going to struggle to live from basically any Pokemon besides Rotom. So he might think to bring Shaman just to have a failsafe for Rotom if it ends up Dynamaxing.
I agree with that.
All right, well, I gave them a go-ahead. Let's see what happens. Victini, Formosa, Whimsicott, Lapras.
Whimsicott and Lapras, huh?
Interesting. I don't believe even after Tailwind, Lapras outspeeds Pheromosa.
No, I think the Lapras is more just to hide Terrakion in the back. I think his plan is probably to use Terrakion, but he doesn't want to risk it getting doubled into on the turn he's setting up Tailwind or risk anything bad happening to it.
Yeah, I'm imagining Lapras just kind of just dies here. Oh, protect, no death.
He definitely saw that Tailwind play.
Found the sash.
That's a
And no burn's going to mean that Whimsicott gets to use at least one other move before dying. I wonder if he's going to switch it out. Oh, I think it could be possible that he switches it out here, thinking maybe with 1 HP he can get another Tailwind off later in the game.
quick fake tears into Victini could really do wonders for Lapras as well if it can survive this close combat.
I mean, I would be surprised if Victini is going to live an attack from Lapras anyways, right?
Well, those 100 defenses, I feel like, are notoriously tough to take down.
Now, is Formosa weak to Fairy?
Yes.
How does a Moonblast do here?
Probably takes it down to Sash, honestly.
Also, it depends on his build. If he has max speed on his Lapras, he for sure can outspeed Pheromosa. It really depends on, he led with the Lapras. He probably expected this coming into it.
Takes it down to the Sash.
The max Hailstorm, if that's what he goes for.
Oh,
he does outspeed it, and he doubled into it.
And he doubled it. That's a huge move.
That was a waste of a Protect, and Whimsicott is still here. Whimsicott gets to use yet another move. And there's the Rotom, and we were talking about how Whimsicott's one of the Pokemon who can check Rotom here. I have to expect Rotom to protect here, in the hopes that Victini can deal with this Whimsicott.
Are we thinking Whimston has multiple attacking moves? Usually, Whimsicott is run with only one.
Well, it really depends on the build of Whimsicott. I mean, on Cramgoose's team, Whimsicott is Tailwind plus whatever extra you have. I could see it having Energy Ball. I could see it having a lot of things, but the Protect makes me think it probably doesn't.
Wow, a
Oh,
big crit.
That's a
Massive
tough crit.
Only
What?
one turn of Tailwind left. Dory only has one more turn of
Dynamax.
Dynamax. Double Protect here isn't the worst play for.
We have to expect to protect from Garchomp, right? Because I think he knows that Hailstorm is going to come out.
I don't know that the Hailstorm would come out into Garchomp here. I mean, I think you very well could see it. I think you're more likely, there we go, to see the Moonblast is what I was going to say. And he just doubles into it.
Does he not have Protect?
Yeah, an interesting play on Nuck's part. I would have protected that Garchomp, I think, every day of the week right there.
Daniel with the good luck, have fun in the last turn of the game. Solid.
Wow, you're already you're saying it's over?
Yeah, I think we mentioned that Rotom Wash does seem to be like a strong point for Nuck's team, but I don't think it can 1v3 here. Especially considering that Whimsicott, if it wants to, gets to set up a Tailwind. But I guess maybe it outspeeds here. Ooh, that
Ooh, this could go poorly if he goes right into this.
Yeah.
Terrakion, that's
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's an interesting decision there. I think that the EVs being such that Whimsicott doesn't outspeed Terrakion was a mistake there. But we do see the Shaman in the back to deal with the Rotom that we mentioned.
Looks like in the chat, Cramgoose says that he has the Terrakion outspeeding Whimsicott on accident.
Well, yeah, it was either that was the mistake or the move was a mistake, but I assume it was a mistake with team building there.
What else we saw? We saw the final move on Whimsicott. So we see there is no Energy Ball.
Yeah, the Protect is interesting. I feel like for Pokemon like Whimsicott, I tend to think that Protect is pretty much a waste of a slot a lot of the time.
You know, I think so many times of him just dying turn one without getting anything up kind of soured him.
Yeah, I think if what can be really good with a Protect like that, right, is that you can completely waste your opponent's turn if they decide they have to try and use a move. They have to use the move to get that last 1% gone, right? So if they don't have weather control on their team, which it doesn't really look like.
The second game is up if you're not on it, Nate.
No, we're on it.
Okay. You're just not sharing your screen.
Oh.
I wasn't on it, so that was a good. That was a good.
So yeah, what changes do we expect to see here? I think doubling into the non-Whimsicott Pokemon probably isn't going to happen this time around. Do we think we're just going to see the Protect Tailwind again? Or do we think that we're just going to see Tailwind into Ice Beam or into Max Hailstorm? Because after Tailwind, we already know that Lapras outspeeds both of these Pokemon.
That is true, but I don't think Lapras can take out Rotom before it can take it out. So I honestly think that, we get the Dynamax anyway here. Interesting.
There's the Max Hailstorm. Yeah, I think
no Protect on this Garchomp.
I think you had to expect that. Maybe a swap? I don't know.
Ooh, the paralysis is pretty big there. Not only did it break the sash, but it also is a paralysis. So there's a chance that this Whimsicott isn't going to get a second move off.
Mm-hmm. I think a Dynamax Rotom here. Well, you do have to worry about Shaman in the back, right? So maybe not a Dynamax, but otherwise this Lapras is about to run crazy on your team. Yeah. Good Protect.
And there's the paralysis that was mentioned.
No crit this time means he survives, but That probably means Victini goes down unless we see a swap here.
I'm imagining Formosa is still in the back. Do you want to throw your Formosa away?
Well, it's sashed, right? So I think that honestly might be worth it because once the tailwind goes away, you're sitting pretty as the fastest one on the field. You do have to make sure you get rid of this Whimsicott though before it can set anything up. Yep, that was a good play.
Sash
There's
did
Formosa.
double. Didn't double. See the Max Phantasm to drop the defense. That's pretty big to keep Formosa out there and alive. And having a shot to take out Whimsicott.
I think we're gonna see the most face-up protect on Faramosa here.
You have to. I mean, you're
Absolutely.
slower than everything.
And you have to try and kill this Whimsicott this turn. So, see here, the protect on Whimsicott is really important because if it breaks through that paralysis and protects here, it gets to set up a Tailwind next turn as long as it doesn't get paralyzed.
I think since Faramosa is guaranteed to protect, I think you just have to double into the Rotom here.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, he did not protect.
Interesting.
Is there protect on there? Oh,
it's still not dead.
Kill.
That's a yikes.
All right, it's time to pray for the paralysis gods.
There's also still a Terrakion likely in the back as well.
And even if he doesn't get a Tailwind off, Shaman's faster than both of these Mon for sure. Yeah, not protecting Faramosa was really risky in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just if Shaman didn't protect, it was just going to attack. I think it was
Life Orb.
Ooh, a discharge would have been really interesting there. It maybe could have killed.
He was probably concerned about taking out his own Victini. That hit he talks about should have discharged.
Yeah,
I think that probably would have two-hit killed probably every Mon on the field there.
Yeah, I think if Shaman died that turn, I think we would have seen a chance with a Hydro Pump hit. But with Shaman living, I don't think we had anything.
Good games, very good games.
We see the Goose. I don't know if he's mocking his teammate, saying enjoy your trip after eliminating him.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, I think we expected more, a bigger adjustment after game one. It seemed like he came with basically the same strategy, and it just worked twice in a row, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that gets us our next contestant through to the playoffs. So, 2 more.
Big ups to Cramgoose for that.
Yeah,
sure.
Big ups to Nuck for a good season.
Yeah, and Cramgoose, you know, it's pretty sick to change your name to Playing Cramgoose and then make it out of play-ins.
Should I come
Good
in?
Dude.
Oh,
here
please.
He is.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I that went basically exactly how I planned it in my head, so that's good.
I have to ask, did you plan for beat up to not work how it's supposed to?
Yeah, that didn't go as I planned. Yeah, that's for goddamn sure. I made sure that everything was at 170 speed because I can't outspeed Faramosa ever. But Garchomp was his second fastest Pokemon at 169. But then I was like, yeah, no, Whimsicott's just gonna go out there and Tailwind, so it doesn't even matter what he's at. I ran no speed, and then I beat up, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that. It was not my best look. I just kind of expected him to come in, Tailwind, and die, so I wasn't ready for all that.
Yeah.
The other interesting thing is with no speed on your Whimsicott, it didn't outspeed the Faramosa in game 2.
Oh, I had it enough to do that. I had it like 4 speed, 112.
It didn't look like it did, right? Because Faramosa got to use a move it used to triple axle onto the Shaman Sky.
That's just because I was paralyzed.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I
Um,
forgot.
Yeah, I was really getting sweaty when Whimsicott got paralyzed because being able to poke it or moon blast that thing to knock its sash off was something I was really relying on. But I was like, Whimsicott, he'll come through. And
Boy, did he. Because that thing, I think, stuck around almost the entire, like, every single turn, right?
he died at the end of game 2, but he kept it together until then.
And survived
Truly.
all of game 1. We've never seen a Whimsicott survive this long. This is
It's
a
unprecedented.
remarkable event.
It
It was
actually
really-
before the second match we were talking, and I mentioned that like I thought it was weird having Protect on Whimsicott since it's just gonna die after setting Tailwind up anyways. And then right after saying that, we get to watch game 2 where it stayed for 5 turns.
I don't.
And not only that, but yeah, it was such a potent offensive threat there for a little bit. Moonblast hits 3 of his most threatening Pokemon were super effective. So, I mean, it got to do some good work on the special attack end as well.
Yeah.
I was interested to not see. It was interesting to not see Energy Ball, given how much of a threat Rotom Wash is on Nuck's team.
I just figured Shaman could handle it, and I had Whimsicott there for the other stuff like Garchomp and Fairmesa. I was really I don't want to reveal my secrets, but I think one of the biggest things
It's
I've got
just us
going
here.
for me is people get like annoyed by Whimsicott and just swing moves at it. So I just like plan for that and protect, hoping that people will swing at Whimsicott instead of like the Pokemon next to it that's like actually doing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And that
I
does
think-
happen a lot.
Yeah, I think that's a really good strategy, right? Like, I think running Protect on Follow Me Pokemon is kind of similar, right? Like, if you know that your opponent is going to try and take that Pokemon out, then a Protect sort of wastes a turn for them, right?
Right.
I think that, it's not necessarily doing anything on the field, but wasting your opponent's turns and sort of like getting in their head like that pays dividends in its own way.
Yeah, and in matches like the one I played against Trashmoth, the Rabambi is not gonna do anything if it gets taunted. And so Whimsicott's just gonna stick around and make his Pokemon useless until he switches out. Or just lets it die. Both of which are like tempo losses for him. So he like is incentivized to kill Whimsicott, so he can get like a Tailwind off or do something with Rabambi, but I could just like protect and stall time, which I think is great. I love Whimsicott. I know Nate hates that little boy, but he's done so much for me.
Just a tad
I-
overrated,
Yeah, like-
I think there's a reason it's such a popular Pokemon in so many formats. I mean, there's just so much great stuff it can do. And I know this is not a testament to the way that you've built him, Cramgoose. I think that like even just like keeping mostly the same sets on him through most of the season is like a testament to how strong he is, right? Like you can just kind of run the same set a lot of the times, no matter the matchup, and it can still put in incredible amounts of work. But it's also got things like fake tears I was thinking maybe we could see a fake tears into something so that the Lapras could follow up for like a good +2 attack or something. There's so many fun options you can run with that Pokemon, but even just running similar sets with Tailwind and Moonblast and beat up strategies, like putting in so much work for you, it's just
Yeah.
how good it is.
I think Whimsicott's biggest like annoying thing when it comes to prep is he has so many good moves to pick from, and you only get to bring 4. I like you're talking about like fake tears. That's great. Like Cotton Guard is also a really good move. If you just like want to get Whimsicott really bulky early, because that it raises your defense 3 stages, and you get that on Prankster. That's crazy. Like I thought about something. Nate, I DM'd Nate this week. Is Baton Pass allowed? Because I had some crazy like Cotton Guard Baton Pass plan thing, and then realized that Whimsicott doesn't even get that move. But you feel like he would, so that was just a big waste of my time.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about like any prankster Pokemon with Tailwind in a draft league like we have, there are times when you look at your team and you realize Tailwind's coming up, and that just means that all my Pokemon are getting outsped the whole time.
Yeah.
That alone is just, it makes it kind of like you're prepping knowing that your opponent's going to get to move first every single time. And the thing about Whimsicott too is its offensive stat isn't even bad either, so you can't just like ignore it like you might be able to some other prankster Pokemon.
Yeah, it's Moonblast and Energy Ball are both great moves. I was talking to Jesse, who my beautiful captain in the commentary right now, and I was talking about what I was gonna do if Smoothie won, and I was like, I can still get everything on my team almost to outspeed Regieleki because he's got like no way to stop Pricks or Tailwind, and there are very few times where like a Pokemon can get faster than Regieleki guaranteed. But it's just so strong knowing that unless they have Fake Out or something like that, you just get Tailwind up every single time for sure.
Yeah, it turns into a tough 50-50 in that situation, right? Because you need to run Protect, and if they have a good Fake Out mon, you have to run Protect. And more than likely you have to click it, right? Because if they do click Protect, then not only do you waste your first turn, but you lose your Sash, which is so important to how Whimsicott functions, I feel like.
Yes. I think Whimsicott will get even stronger when Dynamax moves are gone, because Max Hailstorm eats that thing alive. It gets its Sash, and it goes down to its Sash and then dies from hail immediately afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But that won't be able to like be a thing when you can't just set weather with any ice move. But I'm excited to be in playoffs. Nate's been shit talking me a lot. He's my biggest hater and my biggest motivator. So
hey, welcome to the
be
club.
here.
Don't let him hold you down, Cramgoose.
Does Nate? Hold on. Does Nate have an eclipse symbol next to his name? Oh yeah. He's been shit talking me too.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so funny. Like the first time I got bullied by the Eclipse guys, I'm like, damn, Charles gets this all the time and he's on their team.
Yeah. The Eclipse chat has more chats than all the other teams combined, and probably like a third of them are just hating me,
You started off the season pretty rough. There was a lot of fodder for us.
Hey, it's okay. The crown's heavy,
You did what you had to do. You crawled your way back from the brink very quickly and made a name.
Whoa. Look, I'm undefeated in play-ins. I've won every championship that I've started in play-ins. It was a plan all along. I need to get these extra 3 games while everyone else is getting complacent. I'm training, That's
what Kokushu always says. He's always like, man, play-ins is the way to go because you stay sharp. Everybody else starts getting,
Play-ins is the way to get past the second round,
I'm really afraid of Jack. I've just learned that he's not above anything. He'll give his opponents COVID. He'll bring an illegal Tangrowth into play-in matches.
100%.
He's going crazy.
I felt so bad when Brooke was like, yo, what is this Tangrowth? And I was like, oh no, was it not listed? I didn't use it at all.
It's like the only time I've ever seen Damn It Terry used properly.
It's used properly every time it's used. Whoa. There's not a time it's not used properly, actually.
You didn't even bring the Tangrowth though, so I don't think it made a difference.
He was only there for insurance against Whiscash.
He's just there to throw his opponent off,
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a Kyogre on my team and see what Dig Doggers thinks.
Dude.
He's got Water Absorb, man. He eats that up.
I actually, very early in the season, I legitimately thought it'd be a funny prank to accidentally bring a team of 6 restricted mods and be like, oh shit, sorry, wrong team. But then I didn't want to get accused of like scouting their team, so I didn't do that.
That was one of the things that I was concerned about. If we were gonna if Brick decided he didn't want to play because he didn't know about Tangrowth, right? Like he knew what I was thinking and I knew what he was thinking, so we'd probably have to rethink strategies potentially.
Right.
Confusing, but we've kind of gotten away from your match.
Oh yeah. I guess
one more
thing.
Go ahead and wrap this up a little bit. I have one final question. So
yeah, go for it.
Before the play-ins, you made a big change and changed your Discord name to Play-In Cramgoose.
First thing I'm doing when I hang up is changing that name.
What can we expect that to be changed to?
Probably just normal Cramgoose. Or playoff Cramgoose.
Wow,
I
I was
haven't
gonna say
decided.
just normal Cramgoose. I don't know if that would make it very far to the playoffs. But
Playoff Cramgoose might
No
do it.
lofty ambitions from Cramgoose
yeah,
anymore.
talk about settling.
I
He's made it this far and he's kind of done.
Hey, I did you a solid. I changed Shaman's name from That Guy Nate Sucks to FKA Socks because he was formerly known as Socks. His current name is still That Guy Nate Sucks, but I don't want it like front and center.
Ah, okay.
I'm really looking forward to seeing who you pick, Nate. Do you know?
Oh,
You
I
don't
know.
have to tell me, but do you know?
I know.
Oh, that's saucy.
I've known
Pick
for weeks.
pick Robbie. That'd be the Chad move.
Kokosho did
That
that
happened.
last season, and he ended up beating Skern. So
He picked the second seed?
yeah,
That's
dude, it was
crazy.
It was so alpha, and he beat him.
yeah.
Oh dear God, I would never. I'm definitely.
Nate just has to be a little worried because when he calls somebody out, he leaves in the first round.
This is true.
If you don't want to pick me, I'm chilling. That's fine. You can pick someone else.
We'll see.
You can always get that run back, big man.
The run back, bro. I'd be happy to get the run back against a couple of people, but I don't want to see Kokosho and Nate again. I beat Kokosho because he misplayed. And Nate like 8-0'd me.
I would take the playback against anybody except for Dig Dogger because Volcanion is a bitch and a half.
It's a shame that you have to take the run back against Dick
I was gonna say,
Dogger in
good luck.
30 minutes.
Hey, I talked all that trash like 5 minutes ago, and I'm about to get ran through by Volcanion.
I'll make sure to get this uploaded so he can listen to it before.
Yeah, that's fine. He had to take an extra hour to prepare, so.
Ooh.
He's
Well,
sweating,
do you guys have any additional questions for our winner, Cramgoose?
Yeah, I have one actually, real quick. What's it like to have the blood of your fellow teammates on your hands?
Dude, Jesse knows the moment Smooby lost off the back of 2 missed play-roughs after going 0-10 and almost making a play-in run, I was like, dang, it really hurts to see my boy like that.
I mean,
But
I think you could say he missed off of 2 missed play roughs. You could also say he missed off of not Dynamaxing his best Pokemon in the matchup. But
and there are a lot of things, but I was like, that was tough to watch, and I wasn't even in that one.
Yeah.
The Nuck has been helpful all season. He's been a great ally. He doesn't flame me in the Berserkers chat like you all do to Charles.
I
and
can
I was
expect
sad.
that to change.
Who left?
Jack.
Hey, welcome
Hey,
back,
bye.
Jack.
Yo, sorry.
But I just it never feels good to see a teammate lose. I was hoping that no offense, Jack. But I was hoping to see Break make it out to you. But I'm happy that at least
Dude.
one of the Berserkers boys made it.
That was crazy, and he should have had me. He actually did. I'm saying, dude, that game was. There was no reason I should have won that game.
It was so close. Crawdon is a bit of a demon. I didn't expect him to just one-shot everything.
Dude, he's insane. Well, okay, but here's the real kicker, okay? And I don't know if Brick knows this or not, but if he hadn't dealt the chip to Nidoqueen with Earthquake, I wouldn't have killed it.
Oh, that is rough.
Yeah, he knows. The real problem was Clefairy living on 2%. That was the make or break for that match.
He still could have took it if he had protected Metagross that turn.
Yeah, but if he protects Metagross, it puts him in a 50-50 where you can just knock off the Nidoqueen.
I don't kill because it's Dynamax though.
The turn after? Last turn of Dynamax was the turn before, wasn't it?
No, it was that one.
Yeah, I think Steph's right.
That's rough.
That is rough. Don't worry, I know a thing or two about choking decisions in last turn situations.
Well,
was hard.
hopefully you don't choke too much in the playoffs.
Hey, you know you want me to. You're going for that chip, and so am I.
All of us are. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap us up.
Yep.